Hello again, wrestling fans. We are coming off TNA Genesis, one of the greatest nights in the history of pro wrestling, where I believe it is now fair to say there is a battle for who is number two in the United States. And the fact that that's even a question, let's just give it a second and enjoy this. We did it, guys. We did it. Could have had Oleg Prudius as world champion right now. But no, we got through the Scott bullshit and came out on the other
Yeah.
side, and with WWE NXT now, the show had a goddamn NXT logo on it that they threw on at the last second. John Cena shared on Instagram a tease that, I mean, listen, if you know John Cena, he does it all the time. He's like a troll on Instagram, but he put a tease on there that, and somebody posted on Twitter, like somebody smart, like that post probably did more for the relationship than anything AEW ever did. But we can get back to that. Gary is here, coming off another win for his Eagles, but we don't have time for that. Other than a quick congratulations. Other than a quick congratulations, because so much happened. And
Thanks, Jay. This does mark the 13th Genesis in company history too. So coming out of this, from what this weekend, very quite the opposite. It wasn't an unlucky number 13. It was a really fun show, and let's get started.
good call. Yeah, usually an unlucky number, and TNA is usually unlucky. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
um, I don't want to way to start. Hang on. Oh wait, no, wait. There was some news first. Okay, Busted Open did the pre-show. This was great, and I got to give props to my man here, the Horror King. Sorry if I missed it. We're Discuss TNA, available most everywhere. I'm JaySin. This is the Horror King. We don't have backups because we're not a bunch of jerk offs who need backups. We are real fans who can make time for a fucking hour once a week, and everyone should be able to. So Busted Open did the pre-show, and it looked like a real goddamn pre-show for once. And Gary is big on pre-shows and bashing them. And they only had one match set, and I was like, oh my god, Gary got it done. But they did add a second match, but it was a squash match. So like I was okay. It was like a last minute throw in, and it involved an NXT guy, and it was like right after Ariana Grace. I almost said
Oh
Grace.
yeah, they're saying
It was
that
right after,
Shante.
yeah, like Grace came out to start the show. You know what I mean? Like with the Busted Open
Yeah,
guys, you mess with them a little. Absolutely fantastic. This girl's fantastic on the mic. Amazing
clearly
for being so young. I wonder where
clearly
she
not
went.
familiar with Ashante the
Oh no, me
Adonis.
neither. Me
Yeah,
neither.
no,
First time I
no
saw him,
clue.
and this is one of those things where I think people will complain, but it's the pre-show, and he's an NXT
Yeah,
guy, so fuck off for complaining. That's what I say.
yeah,
This was
me
under
too.
4 minutes, and guess what? Jake something got a win over an NXT guy. Like, come on.
Yeah, and then
You know what I mean?
like we're trying,
He
yeah, and
squashed him.
we're trying to build him up a little bit here and there, and
Yeah,
like even
again for some reason.
yeah, yeah, I have
I'm
no idea.
sorry. I
He
already
did
said I'm
win.
not doing it. I'm not buying it this time. No offense to this dude. He's been pushed what every year, every 6 months for the last 5 years. Is that fair to
Yeah,
say?
so that's two in a row at least for him because he beat Laredo
Okay.
Kid on the Go
Okay.
Home show.
All right.
So
All
maybe
right. That's
there's
two.
a bit of a
It's like
run.
it's like Major League. One
Yeah,
more is three. That's called a winning streak.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Like that's what he needs. Give this guy fucking 10 wins, and I'll totally be believing in him again. But okay,
yeah.
something and oh wait, sorry, got to give props to my girl, Gia Miller. Not my girl, obviously. Absolutely amazing. She led Busted Open. You know what I mean? She led the Busted Open discussion. I'm sorry, Mark Henry was there.
Oh wow.
Fucking WWE legend. Like I just don't just having Mark Henry there, it felt bigger. I'm sure you know what I mean. I'm sure you get it. Like he's what's the
Well,
word?
I always thought it felt
Gravitas is that the right word? Like he has an air. You know what I mean? Like
yeah. I always felt like when he showed up in AEW, and I did see a clip or two, because I was just kind of curious when he showed up there. I don't know, it just kind of felt like he was just there for the check. I
yeah,
don't
no, that's
know.
fair. And
Yeah,
Dreamer was there. Gotta say, someone might want to check on him. He looked just about as big as Mark Henry, or possibly Mark Henry is in amazing shape and lost like 100 pounds. I don't
oh
know.
wow.
Dreamer looked really big in that suit. That's all I know. So what's his name wasn't there? Bully Ray, and I was actually thinking about this, like when they announced, because it was like if my feeling is if Bully Ray's out there, it's like people will be thinking, oh shit, it's Bully Ray. Like, when is he going to get involved? You know what I mean? It's former
Yeah.
world champion Bully Ray, the fucking aces and eights guy.
Yeah.
What do you think it's anything like other than that? Like, I mean, like he just did an interview. Sorry, breaking news. He just did an interview with Joe Hendry, where Joe Hendry said he would like to face John Cena with his, I think he said his first opportunity or maybe any opportunity. And feel free to laugh, but John Cena has said his last year is for wrestling and wrestling fans. He didn't basically say just WWE. And this is still
Oh,
WWE. You know what I mean?
yeah. Yeah.
NXT is fucking NXT is WWE. WWE's you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, and speaking of Bully Ray, like I think if he was going to be a part of the Busted Open or whatever, I think he would have maybe appeared on the show at some point, and it's kind of an indicator that he's not really working with them going forward in terms of on air talent. So that's
There's a few things.
if
Yeah.
you're against
So,
that kind
yeah.
of
Or like yeah. I'm thinking it's like either like you're like, oh shit, Bully Ray's here. He could like jump in the ring at any moment, or like
yeah,
oh shit, Bully Ray here. Okay, I guess he's not coming back to Impact ever, or like you know what I mean. There's like so many ways
yeah,
you can go there, but um, sorry, Britt Baker. Sorry, sorry. Before Britt Baker, Tessa Blanchard is getting a ton of shit. Um, I guess like 10 people chanted she was racist during the match that they were dead quiet for because they're a bunch of fucking sexists in Texas, I guess, who was ever watching that match. I love how it's Texas
well,
standing up
you're
for fucking morals and shit. Isn't that one
oh,
of
you
the
are
isn't that one of those
you're,
states where they're banging their cousins and shit? Sorry,
well,
I'm a New
you're
Yorker,
also
so
You're also talking about the city. I don't wasn't it considered Darwin City or some shit like that though, like where it really took place, and it's like
yeah,
near Dallas.
yeah, it wasn't really
Well,
Dallas. Yeah,
I don't
it was
really
fake
know
Dallas. Yeah.
what their deal is either. I don't know if you caught him kind of putting Josh down because he has no hair, and it's like white
Oh, yeah,
guys
yeah, it's like I thought that
their
was like a
hair
heel thing.
always
Yeah,
get,
but yeah.
you know what I mean? It's
I don't know
like
if you
well, that's
saw this. I swear to God, it looked photoshopped. Someone had
kind
a
of a weird.
sign that says Tessa's racist, and I agree. And it was of her dad. Like,
Oh
come on, man. So whatever, really
that's
fast. I made a fucking article today on my site, um, WrestleVoice.com, pointing out people in wrestling today who have actually been arrested for shit.
yeah
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah
arrested.
lot more
Arrested. Tessa
severe.
said shit when she was what, 18 or 19 years old. She
Yeah
literally made up with the person like quickly after. You know what I mean? Like they
yeah
had a picture. They had a picture together. Like she was the.
Yeah,
So
she's basically getting the Roseanne treatment in wrestling.
I mean, how old was she? I mean, but I don't think it's even. That's even, I don't even think so because Roseanne. I feel like if you're at a
Yeah,
certain age, I mean,
yeah,
again,
but
has
I
she
mean,
done it? Is she worse than what the former fucking
yeah,
president did, who got fired for fucking his own talent?
yeah,
Is
yeah,
he worse than Jordynne Grace, who turned her
yeah,
eye to that?
yeah,
I mean, Hulk Hogan getting booed, like, seriously. Everyone's got to. Somebody said, get the fucking wokeness out of wrestling. And I was like, that's a great, you know what I mean? Yep. How about Ric Flair harassing women?
yeah,
Literally. He got what was he? He got the fucking thing with the plane. Tommy Dreamer, hate to bring TNA people. He literally got what? Suspended? Because he had
yeah,
such a blast watching Ric Flair shaking his dick against a terrified woman in a corner of a fucking plane. But no, let's all destroy Tessa Blanchard. Jacob Fatu, one of my fucking favorites. Armed robbery.
yeah,
Hang on, sorry. There's so many of these. Booker T was arrested in 1987 for robbing a Wendy's, served 19 months in prison. Razor Ramon murdered somebody outside of a nightclub. It was likely self-defense. Andre the Giant
yeah.
was arrested for assault.
And who was that
Jerry
hard?
Lawler. I mean, I was afraid to even mention this one, but I just this
Oh,
is
geez.
this, is- this is somebody else's words.
Yeah.
Reportedly raped and sodomized a 15-year-old girl. Have you ever heard of that?
No, I do know he married really young though. He married the cat back in the day, and she was like maybe middle 20s, and he was like in his late
Yeah, I'm not sure if
50s.
this is a racist.
Kind of,
It's like I don't know if this is putting it. I don't know if this is putting
kind of a bit of
racism on.
pig, if you will.
Okay, I'll ask you this question. I don't know if this is putting racism on Vince or putting it on Brock by mistake. This is a crazy
Yeah,
stat though. WWE has had 4 African American champions. I would say black. Sorry, that was someone else's words.
yeah,
African American was fucking near this. Sorry, WWE has had 4 black champions, and all 4 of them lost to Brock Lesnar. Sorry, Brock Lesnar.
Oh wow.
Isn't that sick? Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
so, like, all right, Chris Jericho and Gregory Helms were arrested for alcohol intoxication in outside of a Shell gas station. These are people who were arrested for things. These are adults. Ric Flair was what, 50? I don't know. He looks fucking 80 his whole life. I mean, and even fucking has Hulk Hogan ever been arrested?
No, I
I
think
don't think so. Like,
no. Don't think no.
there's
No, I
all
think it.
these fucking people with records. I'm sorry if I didn't mention MVP. MVP also like robbed a fucking bank or something. That was a pretty wild fucking story.
Yeah, I think Hulk Hogan gets a lot of hate because of the comment he made about Brooks' boyfriend that
But
happens to
again,
be
comments,
you,
comments. These
you,
people
you know what I mean?
fucking robbed banks and they
Yeah,
assaulted
yeah,
people. Like, Jesus,
yeah,
man,
yeah.
whatever. And I mean, just and now they're AEW fans quickly turned on. Britt Baker because what's the story there? Oh god, oh god. Hope I didn't hang up. Gary, don't go
No,
away.
no, you're
Gary, are
there.
you there? Oh god.
Yeah, you're
Okay.
here.
Should have played that like I actually fell down. My bad, people. I got this story pulled up. I actually did some pretty good work today, and I got Oh wait, sorry. Someone named Bozzy posted on Twitter. Mike Bailey, Jordan Grace, Josh Alexander, and now PCO, all basically saying they are done with the company, but yeah, they are fine. LMAO. I wrote, "What? Can't hear you over the crowd," and put up the insane shot of the crowd from last night.
Yeah.
Absolutely insane. So, ready? Tony Khan is reportedly no longer booking Britt Baker for AEW TV, as frustration with her has grown behind the scenes. A recent incident, final straw, blah, blah, blah. She might be done with AEW. At least the feeling I'm getting is Tony might have the same strategy with other wrestlers where they just don't get phone calls and don't get called in to show up. Holy shit.
Well,
This is what the
unfortunately,
fucking Booker of
Tony.
the Year does. He doesn't
Unfortunately,
answer the phone calls.
unfortunately, Tony. At least Britt Baker has a career to back herself up. She doesn't need.
Seriously.
Well, she's like a actual dentist. Like they're never poor.
She's a dentist. I think she's a fucking actress. I mean, I think she's been in a movie. I don't know. Maybe she's
Yeah.
in a movie, whatever. I mean, she's incredibly entertaining. And, like, I'm. There's not much that I could be shocked with when it comes to the pro wrestling world after, you know, basically
Not to mention
my
this
run in with
lady.
Sap and whatever, you know what I mean? But, like,
Yeah, and not to mention this lady busted her nose for AEW while being under
oh
their
my God.
tutelage.
Yeah, I didn't realize
You
that.
know,
How many matches did she almost fucking kill herself? Jesus Christ. I gotta
yeah,
totally. Fuck you all. Good
ridiculous.
God. Also, we're gonna get to obviously the Genesis, but Ash by Elegance. I can't pronounce her first name. I try. Ashame. Do you have any idea
Oh
how to pronounce? Whatever. She's been posting.
yeah, I've
I mean,
tried to.
she's been posting like the hottest pictures ever on her Instagram. And
Yeah,
again, they had her come out in what was it, Dallas Cowboys outfits, and they
yeah,
lost.
the cheerleaders
And
outfits.
they lost. And I
Yeah,
didn't realize. I mean, listen, I'm not a big fan of Spitfire. I think they're boring as shit. But I looked
yeah.
around, and a lot of people were saying that. Like a lot of people, like, you know what I mean, like upset last night.
Jay, I
Like,
think I
damn,
know what
really
some
Spitfire
of the.
again? And I was like, wow.
I do feel like there is some issues with them, and not just for just boring, but like I feel like some of the moves, like to set up their like to counter their opponents, like they're kind of
Yeah.
sloppy too. Like
They don't really.
like it doesn't really
They don't come.
catchy.
They've been together for a while. They don't really come off as like a
Yeah,
tag team, if that makes any sense.
yeah.
Also,
It's
got to
kind of like
mention,
they go into business by themselves. Like they just happen to be a tag team. You know what I mean?
got to quickly mention, Impact. Sorry, TNA has been posting those hot photos of knockouts again,
No.
with the beginning is
Well,
near in the background. Don't know if you saw these, but it's just posting hot knockouts in hot outfits on Twitter. And people, and like somebody, one of my friends, I forget his name, responded like this is awesome. Like look at all the likes. Look at, you know what I mean? Like there's nothing
yeah.
wrong with like showing something like this. Like
Yeah.
whatever. Again, oh my God, I got another shot. Jesus God, some of these shots are insane. Okay, hopefully I can share these somewhere. I mean, maybe we can. Well, I'll have it on my page at WrestleView if anyone wants to check that out. So yeah, Li Ying Lee. I mean, Jesus, she looks amazing. I don't think she was on the show at all, right?
No, no, no. I
Yeah,
don't think she
but she
was
was
on
on
the show.
Impact the week before.
Yeah, the week before, but I don't think she was on this week's Go Home show. But I will say
Oh,
the
I thought
Go
she
Home
was.
show was very good this
I
week.
get mixed up. I thought she wasn't that her. Wasn't that her against what's her name? Poor girl.
Oh, yeah, I can't think. I always forget her name. She was paired with Tasha.
To be fair, it's due to her terrible booking and nothing else. Oh my God. Okay, I'm gonna blame Gary's son. What's up, dude? Sorry,
Joey.
Gary's son. Sorry, Gary's son Joey is doing a run-in. He likes to do this sometimes and totally throw us off. I'm
Sorry
currently
about that.
checking last week's card. It's okay. Currently checking last week's card, and oh, you're right. I do not remember this. Okay. Here's what I didn't like about last week's card: the 23 thing. It didn't affect Sammy. You know what I mean? It didn't affect anything. It was just like a random 23 thing that happened, and it had nothing to do with the match. They could have led it to, I don't know, like
Yeah,
shut
and
the
that's
lights
the thing this week.
shut the lights off and PCO is out. You know what I
They
mean?
did,
Then you could do the PCO injury, and that's why he's not at Genesis.
that's what I was gonna comment too on the Go Home show. There was mention of 23 again, but
Yeah.
I
Too little, too late. You know what I mean?
kind of weird. Yeah, now
I thought they would
I
have
don't know
pushed
what
it.
the deal is, and
I
then with
thought
the
they would have
PC.
pushed. You know they want to. I don't know. I'm trying to think of the timeline when they started it. I'm guessing maybe they started it right before they found out about the NXT stuff.
Yeah,
It's the only
and
thing that
then
makes
the
sense.
PCO stuff doesn't make any. You
Yeah,
know what
and
I mean?
that.
Because we were commenting, like it seemed like
Sorry, did we mention that on the air?
unless it is,
Oh, did we mention that on the air?
unless it's something to.
Did we talk
Yeah, and
about
I kind
PCO
of
on the air,
figure
or was
that
that
might be.
before?
Oh yeah,
Sorry.
we did earlier.
Okay, sorry, I'm a
Yeah,
little stuck. She
but
was with
but it's
17 minutes
kind of
in. Holy
weird.
shit.
Weird too with like I don't know, maybe is it like maybe going to be an alter ego of Sammy or some shit like or so I don't know. I just kind of feel
Oh,
like
23?
yeah.
Wow, actually, Robles did predictions. Shout out to my boy Double R Dubs, all kind. Does predictions for every fucking show, every show. Check out Russell Voice, every live show, Raw, NXT. He's gonna do TNA this week. That's awesome because we never get to do TNA. So this week he did a Who is 23 thing, and I never edited stuff ever. But I just had to add one because I was like, you know
Yeah.
what? What if it's Sammy? Like exactly like you just
Yeah.
said. Exactly like you just
Oh.
said. And maybe it becomes like a aces and eights kind of thing. You know what I mean? Where like we never think it's Sammy because he was, you know what I mean? He was the one they attacked first, or like it seemed to be about him. You know, like I don't know. I just yeah. I'm surprised.
Yeah.
We had no talk about that at all. Just want to say that. And Gary has not been on Facebook because he's had some internet
Yeah, I
issues
haven't
where I so he has not
yeah.
seen any of my posts where I posted that. So interesting. We bought the same shit. Uh just looking through last week, and yes, you're right. She was not on the show last week. Is it possible there was not one knockouts match? Slater beat Seven, Young and Macklin beat First Class, Something beat Kid, and the Hardys and PCO beat Callahan.
Yeah, I
What are
was
the
really
F?
surprised.
Oh yeah, well, they had the contract signing. Sorry.
I almost was kind of surprised when something got the win over Kid just because like I don't know, just it seems like when Laredo Kid gets momentum, that they do kind of do something pull like a Jake.
Isn't that exactly the same as Jake something?
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. It's just wow.
So yeah, if we didn't mention it, Jordynne finished up with TNA. Is headed to
Oh,
WWE. She made a whole. There's a video on sitting in Gorilla. Good video. Everyone hugs her. I don't know. Again, maybe I'm seeing things. Looks like Eddie is the only one who only gives like a quick hug, but I'm sure it's like a.
yeah.
I'm thinking it was set up for his wife who comes running in with a pie in the face. Alicia, goddamn, you mentioned it
Well,
before the podcast how great she is at ring announcing.
And then they said
I'm sorry. I'm
too,
sorry.
like
I'm sorry. Not ring announcer. I'm sorry. At managing.
with Jordynne currently, listed as going to the WWE, we still have the option of her still coming back and making an appearance for TNA because
Yeah.
we
See,
are
that's such a weird thing right now. I feel like. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
like she has to go to the main roster, no, or else it's gonna be
yeah,
like, oh look at Jordan Grace again.
yeah,
She just left the company and
yeah, yeah,
now she's
definitely.
facing Masha Slamovich. Like, what are they
Well,
gonna
I
do?
mean,
Pretend?
I think they're gonna jump her up there just for the fact that look at the response she got. It was at the Royal Rumble
Yeah.
or whatever. I can't remember what event she showed up. Was it a Royal Rumble though?
Yeah, I don't know. And again,
Yeah,
listen, I don't. I have some personal things like the fact that she never said a word about
yeah,
Scott. I reached out to her.
yeah.
Literally one of the two people I reached out to. I'm not going to mention the other one. And then the third was a little dude named Ed Nordholm, who was running the goddamn place along with Len Esper. And boom, a few months later,
Oh,
Scott gone, Giselle gone.
yeah.
Supposedly, I don't know about Josh though. I mean, what do you think? Is this just storyline?
I don't know. On the pay per
Or
view,
sorry, we'll wait for that.
he
Let's get
did
to
say, yeah, we can get into that.
yeah, we'll do the okay, I want to go in order of matches that I loved. I thought there was three absolutely awesome matches with
Yeah.
very close to, like, in my opinion, a perfect match. The Jordynne Tessa match.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Just like I give it 3 3/4 stars. I was so close to giving it 4, but I don't know. I think it was missing like a tiny something. I'm not sure what that was.
Well,
Um,
you mentioned the lack of crowd
oh yeah, thank
participation.
you. That was it exactly. Yeah.
Heavily not into it.
If
Like,
that crowd was like the crowd for Santana's match, where it sounded like
yeah,
everyone was handed a bag full of drugs 10 minutes before the match started.
I don't know.
I mean,
Maybe Texas isn't big on the women's side of
I
things.
never heard. Oh, totally. I mean,
You
listen,
know what I mean?
it's not even Texas. You can check every show, including WWE, some WWE, yeah,
Oh, okay.
some WWE shows, all
Okay.
AEW shows.
Oh,
A lot of fans don't like women's wrestling. It's a fucking thing. People flat out say it on Twitter. I've seen people have arguments on Twitter, and it's like, what are you gonna do? They don't like women's wrestling. They're
see
not
that?
assholes. You know what I mean? They don't like something. Like, honestly, I like women's wrestling more than men's wrestling. Does that make me worse? You know what I mean? Like, it's your fucking whatever you
Yeah,
like.
and a lot of times, Jay, with me, sometimes I'm a bigger fan of the tag team wrestling. If
Oh
you got
yeah.
a couple of teams versus like singles competitors, a lot of
Oh,
times I feel,
I was trying to explain to someone how
back in,
LAX how I was trying to explain to someone how LAX and the Lucha Brothers carried TNA for about a year.
yeah, yeah, and not to mention like some of the
Carried seriously.
classic
If anyone forgot
tag
about
team
that time, go back and look. Every month they fucking
Heart
almost every month they put a.
Foundation,
Remember
British
the match with
Bulldogs.
remember they had the match with no ropes or
Yeah.
whatever it was, and it was like a disaster, but
Oh yeah.
it was still fun. Like the ring was fell apart, they almost broke their fucking legs, and it was still a great match somehow.
Oh yeah. Yeah. How they didn't ever get hurt.
Like they did every match
That was
possible.
when Eddie Kingston was there, right? I
Oh yeah, yeah.
think he was a
He was
part of
another.
that.
Yeah, always thought he was
Yeah.
overrated, but that's another story. So Santana, Josh, I mean, incredible, and 23 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
again, I mean, maybe a little long for me because I am what I am. The
I think
Jordan
I
match
could
I
have
thought was
watched
perfect
another
at 20
15,
minutes.
20.
But I mean, yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying there's a lot of people like you who wanted this to be like 45 minutes. That's a fucking. I mean, the
Yeah.
crowd again. Anyone just go listen to the crowd during this match. It's absolutely. They were insane. Okay, I literally had to lower my television at one point. Okay, Tessa beat Jordynne. Yeah, I gave that 3 3/4 stars. If anyone cares, gave Santana 3.5 stars. But I don't know. That's really close. I could
And
totally.
honestly, Jay, I think it might have stepped up a notch in the Santana and
Yeah, I was
Alexander
gonna
match.
say. I mean, if you put the crowd into that, and
Well, and not to mention Judas Icarus and Travis Williams were banned, so I think that made it
yeah,
that
there
much
was no bullshit at
more.
all.
Yeah, no overbooking or anything like that.
Yeah, I think somebody complained like that Alicia and JDC were there for the Moose match. That
Yeah,
was like the only small complaint. But
yeah,
that's my third match. I thought that match was also fucking awesome. I gave it 3.5 stars.
yeah,
I'm
and I
fine
think,
with, like, I don't mind a
and
little bullshit. They're heels. I mean, come on.
Well, and the thing is, too, I think that match made Ace still look like a winner because, I mean, it took Alicia and JDC at ringside, and he still come pretty close to probably giving Moose, based on the difference in stature, like probably the most competitive match Moose has had in a little bit, too, as
One
well.
thing I was really I was surprised that. Okay, sorry. Holy shit! Damn, we got more views than we've gotten in a really long time on Podbean this week.
Oh,
Same for
wow.
YouTube. So thank you out there to everyone who has been
Yeah,
checking us
thanks.
out.
Yeah.
I mean, Spotify, we got like 80 followers. I had no idea. If somebody put a, I said if somebody put a gun to my head, I would have guessed like 8. I'm not even kidding. Like I don't check Spotify. Like I only been recently posting it because my site has a
I
Spotify button. You know what I mean? Like my site just has
so
a Spotify button. So
yeah, I think with this pay per view with Genesis, one of the key things I noticed was the pacing in this pay per view. I felt like they were like all the matches were well paced
yeah,
versus past pay per views where there's always like that one match. It's kind of, I mean, you might want to mention like like Masha and Rosemary, but I think that's due to the lack of Rosemary having her her former ability, like where she could entertain. Like I think somebody had mentioned that it might be a good idea to maybe make her a manager of like a dark like a faction or something,
oh
and
totally, yeah,
maybe
yeah,
hang up the wrestling gear.
totally. I mean, I was watching the show with my boy Van. Shout out to Van the man, awesome fan. That's a lot of rhyming there. Did not mean to do that. Man, he's been around since Mecca, hasn't he?
Yeah, I do think I remember him back in the day. I
Crazy.
think I remember it because they rhyme,
So crazy. Like
rhyme it.
I'm talking a blood rain again. Like I don't know. I just
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
kind of lame. It's funny. Like I act like a
Early
tough guy.
days.
Act like a tough guy or whatever. But like I'm super lame when it comes to stuff like that. It's like, oh man, look, it's my old friend. It's
And the
like,
thing is, I think those guys have stayed just as about as loyal to the
oh
brand
my
as
god,
we have.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm part of like the crazy ass group on Twitter now. I got hostile TNA guy to follow me. His
Yeah.
name is Hostile. I don't know. I'm sorry, I forget the Hostile. It's like Hostile TNA fan, and he's literally
Yeah.
a hostile fucking TNA fan. He makes me look like
Yeah.
like whatever. You know what
Yeah.
I
Like
mean?
we're heels or
Yeah. So
whatever.
like I'm in with like the hardcore fans that are kind of giving me a what's the word,
Well,
like
I
a
mean,
shield. I'm getting like a shield from other people. You know?
I think what it is with us is because like we compare to the early days, like there's some things that we feel like they're still not touching on, like the gimmick matches, like where there was nothing in this
Oh yeah, yeah.
view. There was an I Quit match, but you really consider that gimmicky. Uh, Maybe if they use more tables and things like that, but
Well, the
I
Clockwork
don't.
Orange.
Yeah, that's kind of a step in the right direction. But like per se, it really wasn't we're not
I
really
would have
seeing a.
had. I would have started the year off with the Ultimate X. But I
Yeah,
mean, I don't know who the hell's gonna be in it. You know what I mean? Especially if you have Ace Austin
yeah,
in that number one. It's whatever. And you know what I mean? Eddie. I mean, I don't know if he would have been in there, but
yeah.
yeah, I don't have enough of X guys right now for that. Leon Slater's awesome. Like he could have been in that. Could have Kazarian in that. Could have got rid of that match, but whatever. That's a whole different thing. I mean, it was a really good show. I mean, I give this thing a 9.1. It had a feeling the whole time where I'm sure watching. I don't know. I think like if I watched it again, I'd probably grade it a lot, not a lot lower, but a little bit lower because like there was such an
I
excitement at the time. You know what I mean?
I definitely got a vibe coming out of this. I feel like WWE did pitch in and kind of make the ramp look more WWE
Oh, they
like.
definitely had to.
They
Yeah.
ditched. I don't know if you noticed, but they ditched the tunnel.
Oh no, I didn't catch that.
They,
I just thought it
they
looked
didn't have
awesome.
the this week.
Oh my god! Here's what
Yeah,
I noticed.
yeah.
Did you
In the
notice this?
Tron.
Did you notice this? I noticed camera work I've never seen before. Like they
What's
zoomed in
that?
on, like I don't know, like Tessa was like kind of like on the top rope or something, and
Oh,
they had this really interesting angle, and I'm like, I've never seen that fucking angle. That has to be WWE. You know what I mean? Like, or just
yeah. I was
WWE.
wondering.
You know what I
My
mean? Or you said
family's
like WWE.
nuts.
Yeah, yeah. I
I'm having
figured.
my own Clockwork Orange House of
Yeah,
Fun. Not a
I,
match, but like
I figured.
chaotic.
I'm just saying like you're saying, like WWE's helping a little bit behind the scenes at the very least.
Well, that what I was going to get to was like somebody had mentioned something about that they I don't know if WWE uses the technique, but somebody was saying something about those drones and whatnot are becoming a big part of
That
the
might
way
have been
you
it.
shoot.
Sorry, this camera angle is so weird.
Yeah, I wonder if
I'm
maybe
watching
they
it
use
with
the drones,
Robles and
maybe.
again Van, and I was like, "Yo, did you see that?" And like I don't think he was looking at the time, and it was hard to explain. Like, like the camera angle. It was like like how do you explain a camera angle? But whatever. I was gonna say right before we get back to the show, I want to mention. Okay, comments that we missed for a while. Well, not for a while. Kevin Cruz, TNA is great. Yep. Eric Isaac, great show, fellas. My predictions for Genesis are Moose, nailed it. Hendry, nailed it. Hardy's, nailed it. Damn, look at this motherfucker. Ash and Heather, nope. Santana, nailed it. Masha, nailed it. Tessa, nailed it. Damn. With some
Respect.
surprising new returns and shocking returns. Kylan King, Killer Kelly, Mustafa Ali, maybe Havoc and Steve. Ooh, should have just kept it at the predictions, but I will. We will still give you points for that. Nice job. Good review. TNA has the best show. I tried to watch Raw on Netflix. It was so boring. Same stuff. All TNA needs is a better network. Exactly.
Yeah,
And that brings me to they're
and
live this week, their first live
oh,
show in
just
years. Is there
I was
enough
just
time for them to make an announcement that they're going to be on another network or a streaming service?
oh okay.
What do you
But I
think?
was going to comment before we get to that, Jay.
Yeah.
I was going to comment about the comments this week. I wasn't able to
Oh,
address
yeah,
any of
sure.
those
Yeah.
because of lack of being
Totally
able to
on
log in.
Gary.
Yeah, so sorry about that. We appreciate the comments. Keep those coming. But what were you mentioning before?
Gary's the guy who always responds to them. He takes care of all the comments, and he's had internet problems, so I've had to take care of the
Yeah,
comments. And in doing that, it means giving likes. Sorry, I have a lot
yeah.
going on, and we kind of talk differently, and I don't want to get people confused. Like, whatever. Whenever you're getting responded from, it's one of us. That's all that matters. If it's my name or if
Yeah,
it's his name, like it's one of us talking and whatever. So, man, it's this show also. I mean, the buzz. I didn't check like
yeah.
I think Van said they were top 10 at least, but I mean, I think they would have to be higher. I swear to God, I mean, maybe Twitter's just getting better with like who I'm following or whatever.
I want to say they said they trended as high as number 9 for the night, which
Okay.
isn't too bad.
I mean,
But
I
in
thought
the
it'd be
same
better on a.
regard, I would have thought it would have been a little higher just
Yeah,
because
same here.
NXT rumors of the new
I
WWE
mean,
deal and
there was a big ass football game on, right?
oh yeah, that's true. I forgot like there was a doubleheader on Sunday and then
But I mean, I'm thinking
Saturday.
like that's what 3, 4 hashtags. Then you had the inauguration the next day. But whatever. Uh, but whatever. We're not here to make excuses. We're gonna leave that to AEW fans. little AEW joke there because gotta be honest, I'm starting to feel for them. I'm really
Yeah,
starting to feel for them. With this Britt Baker thing now, like Tony
yeah.
is clearly fucking clueless. He's listening to either himself, who's the wrong person. You know what I mean? Like he needs, like they're at a point where it's getting to the point where like someone needs to step in. Oh, I'm sorry. I sent you the thing about Max, right?
Oh yeah. You had mentioned that like
Max extremely disappointed
yeah with the
in
numbers.
with their
Yeah.
recent numbers, and they told them to make a special episode called whatever. They didn't pick the name, but you know what I mean. They were like, make a fucking special next week, and
Yeah.
there's already rumors of them getting dropped from Max like next year at sometime this year.
Well, I mean, if they can pick up, like, say, a TNA and they see that their budget's significantly lower, I mean, it's a no-brainer. I mean, that's going to be very
Yeah,
more
that's what I
telling.
think. That's what I think people miss with media net. You know what I mean, like the
Yeah.
budget stuff like that. Everyone else is like, oh, why wouldn't they want AEW? Like, also, I think TNA just does
Well,
better in Canada. You know what I mean? It's like this.
yeah. And the thing is, people were saying that back in the day when TNA had first gotten on, what was it, Destination America? Remember, then they threw ROH on right after.
Oh yeah, yeah. And then
People
how
were like,
about
well, they're going to
yeah,
steal TNA spot. And it's like, then when we went head to head, just
yeah,
hours behind each other, we kind of doubled their viewership. And everybody's like, oh, yeah, but
yeah.
that's because
So
that wasn't a new episode.
Yeah. How many? What is that? Two different? All right. So they hooked up Ring of Honor. They hooked up New Japan. New Japan put up
Yeah.
bullshit garbage ratings that,
Yeah.
again, it's the biggest myth in the world that people give a shit about New Japan outside of Japan. Look what happens. Look at their ratings on TV. No one talks about them. Everyone loves New Japan online. You go online, they're the hottest thing in the world. They're the number two, whatever. And maybe they still are in the universe, you know what I mean, in the world when it comes to money and all that. But in terms of buzz, I don't know who the top guy is in New Japan. Can't name him right now. Could
Yeah.
you?
Not now, especially with like
I honestly think his name is Gabe Kidd, and he just beat Kenny Omega in Kenny Omega's return match.
Oh wow.
Wait a minute.
Oh,
I'm sorry. I got that backwards.
well, and then a lot of
I'm sorry.
the
I got that backwards. Kenny Omega won that match. My bad.
a lot of the top names that were in New Japan are kind of currently on AEW, and they're like not doing
Well, that's what I
anything.
mean. Yeah, like
You know what
Omega's
I
not
mean?
like the top.
They're kind of tarnishing their legacy, kind of being an AEW roster member, if anything.
And then Omega comes back, right? Omega.
Yeah.
So Omega's been gone for how long? Crazy amount of time, right? So he comes back, and where does he go? New Japan first, instead of AEW when his company is under fire. You know what I mean? Going by the whole storyline with Moxley and all.
Yeah.
Then he goes to so he beat Gabe Kidd, 30-minute match. Supposedly was amazing. But my point is like, okay, so Zack Sabre Jr. is the top guy there now. Right now, it looks like boring as hell. Zack Sabre Jr. Young Bucks still fucking world champions of the world. Like they're like the joke that what's his name was used to make. We are the world
Yeah.
tag team champions of the world. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's what they're the joke that Bad Influence used to make. Like, oh, can't
Yeah.
stand them. So boring. Have every title in the world. Oh my God, they had the pre-show ROH titles on this. Jesus God, what a disaster. What is ROH? It's not even a thing. Okay, back to the show. Okay, so Santana, we got Moose. Okay, I was a little surprised because Moose got the win after all the abuse of Bay. Any thoughts on that?
Sorry, Jay, I didn't catch you there. I kind of cut out.
Yeah, I know, I got you. You got a lot going on there. Any thoughts on? I thought it was odd, a little odd. Well, it wasn't a little odd. But Moose got to win after shitting on Bay so much.
Oh yeah.
I thought once you cross that Chris Bay line, like you gotta lose.
Oh yeah. I do too, because like I don't know, it's just come off like a really shitty heel, especially kind of poking fun at somebody that like
Definitely, yeah.
isn't able to walk from the last time I heard.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And as a person that recently couldn't walk,
exactly.
myself, you know.
I mean, this guy, like last we heard, this guy's in
really
terrible shape. You know what I mean? Like last we heard, he's in awful shape.
Yep.
I mean, listen, maybe he's not. Maybe he'll be coming back sometime, which would be amazing.
Yeah, and that's the thing with wrestling. You really don't know with
I
wrestling
know.
either.
But like as for now, that left,
and
that left like a little bad taste in my mouth. Like you gotta have Austin. Once you
maybe that was kind of like an instance where wrestling kind of manipulated life. You know what I mean? Maybe a little too much.
I could also see Ace doing stuff with NXT and Moose. Also, I also think they made a huge mistake showing Moose's belt as he came out. They made a new belt. They made a new big ass. All Moose did was make the X belt bigger to fit him. He was just trolling everyone. You know what I mean? With his whole, I'm changing the NXT, I'm changing the title. Everybody fucking cried about it.
Yeah.
Fucking disrespectful. Moose is gonna drop the title. That piece of shit.
Yeah, and like, I mean, for a belt that was
like, if you come out with a new title like that, didn't you think he was winning? You know what I mean? Like,
well, yeah. And the thing is, like, I felt that like they didn't really do anything to introduce it in the pay-per-view. Like they,
I don't
know
if they mentioned it.
Came down and it was like, oh wait, shit, I forgot Moose was going to introduce a new title. I would have kind of maybe highlighted it by hitting it with lights or
that wasn't well
something.
done. Maybe at the last, maybe they had a plan at the last minute. They were like, "Oh shit, PCO's
Yeah.
gonna just did the same thing we're about to do."
He's going into business for himself somewhere else. Or
PCO just destroyed the title like Moose is about to do. Like I'm picturing Moose walking around with the friggin', the thing over his arm, and they pull it back at the
but
last
I mean,
second.
if PCO was going to do that in GCW, why couldn't they have just like wrote him on the like maybe
Yeah,
backstage?
again,
Like,
I don't believe anything about that. I have no idea.
yeah, yeah. Neither do I at
I
all.
think
And
this
like,
is part of GCW is fucking smart, and they had WWE ID people at the show, which means you don't fuck around when WWE is in the house, and maybe WWE's working with TNA. Now maybe TNA will work with fucking GCW.
yeah, yeah, it does make you wonder that
It doesn't
too,
just
because
have to be WWE versus TNA. It could be, you know what I mean?
I know back when I used to tag different, I don't know, sometimes I'd tag to different companies. I'd tag AEW and I don't know, MLW, and
Yeah.
sometimes GW would actually like
Oh
anything I
yeah.
would send TNA. So I mean, I kind
Oh,
of felt
it's
like they would be willing to work with
oh,
I
it's
think because
super
TNA
cool.
is kind of like
GCW. Yeah. I mean, they have a lot of talent there all the time. I mean,
yeah,
well, like talent that goes there before they go to TNA. Whatever. Just want to see anything we missed. Okay, I missed this. I totally missed this. Eric Young and Macklin defeated the System. 7 minutes and 30 seconds. I don't know what happened.
yeah.
Did I fall asleep? I don't know.
No, I thought this was a very fun match. Like I couldn't believe like Eric Young and like Macklin are looking like they really look like they've kind of been in the ring like chemistry wise in terms
Yeah,
of
I
what.
do like them as a team. Yeah.
I mean, we do want Macklin as a singles competitor, but
Yeah,
I
definitely.
mean, but it seems like whenever they put him in the singles thing, he kind of was booked like Jake something. For every victory he'd
Yeah.
get, he'd lose three more or
Yeah, that's what
whatever.
was weird.
And I
Didn't he
guess,
finally beat Josh, like in a big feud?
yeah, yeah,
And then he teamed. I mean, that seems weird to jump off as a
yeah,
tag team. Like,
you know,
I don't know. It's like I thought he was going straight to the main event, or. But
yeah.
again, it's probably too soon. He can't beat Hendry right now. No one's gonna beat Hendry for a while.
But I was surprised he was over pretty big for really Macklin not really beat. I mean, I guess he's been in wrestling for a little while, but like to be in
Oh
a
yeah,
city
yeah.
in a state as big as Texas, like just
That
like
that
people were
dude
aware.
has done more with less than anyone. Like in terms of like pushes and like TV time.
But like too, I feel like he still like with his ring gear, he kind of still has that Stone Cold way about
Yeah,
him. Kind of like
yeah,
stumbles across the ring, kind of like he's like gonna kick some ass, kind of like a
yeah.
Stone Cold. Uh,
Moxley has a fake version of that where he does it way too much, like too much swagger. Like you know what I mean.
yeah,
But yeah. So okay, Gary says good match here. Spitfire.
what we
Yeah,
got, the 8 minutes or whatever
yeah.
you
7:30.
mentioned.
Yeah, that was one of
Yeah,
the short ones. Spitfire was 9:30, and it probably should have been more like 3:30.
yeah,
I'm just
yeah,
gonna skip past that one. I gave it 2 stars. That was my least favorite match of the night. Talked
yeah. And
about Jordynne.
I
Sorry, go.
thought, oh, I just thought that like Ash by Elegance would have gotten the win just because, like,
Totally.
I
Yeah.
don't know. I felt like
You and
Spitfire
most Twitter.
they got to retain recently because remember they were going to split if they didn't win, and I kind of thought this was be the perfect time to put it
Yeah,
on Ash. Just
it's like they keep telling these stories. And remember they had that
yeah,
thing we talked about, that terrible friggin'.
yeah,
It was like a special Spitfire, like I don't know, promo kind of
yeah,
thing. It was just awful. And it's
yeah.
like I'm sure it was shit on so much because they changed it a week later. Like they usually give everything 2 weeks. You know what I mean? Usually everyone will give everything 2 weeks.
And at least I know, like we've said, Rosemary's lost a step or two, but at least when it was with Rosemary and Havoc as the tag team champions, at least there was something redeeming
Oh yeah,
as them
yeah.
as tag team,
And
because they,
have. I mean, you could put her on any tag team. She could be like you
yeah,
said, more of like the manager type of in the tag
yeah,
team. Which I know doesn't really make sense, but
yeah,
kind of did in my thing. I mean, one person leaves a tag team. It's one of those things. Um, yeah, and especially like a demon person. She can
yeah.
control. Jesus Christ.
Who
I
was the
blanked.
one that
Jesus Christ, I
Havoc
blanked on her
was?
name again. This is really embarrassing.
Who was the Havoc partner that came in and she was going to return, and
Savannah
then she made
Evans.
her.
Fuck. Sorry.
Oh no, this was
I'm just saying, really fast. What if Rosemary
oh
put a spell on Savannah Evans to just
oh
be her
yeah,
fucking monster? You know what I mean? And she does
yeah.
80% of the matches.
Yeah,
Boom,
yeah.
boom. There you go. Got a tag team
Kind
right
of,
there.
yeah, kind of make her own female version of was it the Legion of not Legion of Doom, but
Oh,
House of Doom, or
I
kind of
was
like
gonna say,
a
I was gonna say
you
just
know what
steal
I
it from
mean?
PCO if he really did that. Just
Yeah,
make a
you
female
know what I mean.
PCO.
That would be pretty cool. I mean, if, as long as you don't have the it was it the stupid looking what they call it back in the day, the guy dressed in the in the mummy thing, and I can't remember what they called it. It was the um oh geez, it was a really bad gimmick in WCW where
Oh, the
they
Yeti,
come down the
the
what?
Yeti, the
Yeah,
Yeti.
the Yeti.
Oh my God,
Don't ever go to that territory
one of the
again.
worst
But
moments, and honestly, that was one of the worst moments in WCW history for me. I'm sure a lot of people. He came down with the Giant, and it looked like they just both
oh
hugged
yeah, the
Hulk Hogan, and
earthquake.
they both hugged. No, him and the Giant hugged
Oh, was
Hulk.
it the giant? I couldn't
Yeah,
remember who it
because they were
was,
both
but
enormous, and they were both like
okay.
bear
Yeah.
hugging Hulk Hogan at the same
Yeah.
time, and it looked like they were just hugging. It was like the most
Oh my god.
uncomfortable, weird
Hugging or
thing.
humping? Couldn't
And
tell
put
which
yeah, it looked like they were humping. And poor Shivani, it's the Yeti, it's the
yeah,
Yeti.
especially with Tony Giovanni selling the Yeti.
I remember being young and thinking this fucker's never gonna make it. Like, and
Yeah.
now, okay, so yeah, Savannah Evans. Okay, glad I got her name.
Yeah.
Um,
We always tend to forget her and we apologize. It's just like I think it's the status of the way
it's
they
the
treat
same
her too.
reason. It's the same reason the bookers forget about her.
Yeah,
And
they
Britt
forget about
Baker.
her, so do we a lot of
Yeah,
times, you know
it's
what I
hard.
mean?
I mean, yeah, it's like friggin'. It's like Robles mentioned. He'd like to see Hendry against Hammerstone, and I'm like, dude, I would love that, but where the hell
Yeah.
is that guy? He always vanishes.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, it's an injury a lot of the times, but you know what I mean. I'm sure it's
I'll
not
tell you what,
always.
I wouldn't mind seeing Joe Hendry's throwing challenges out there. I wouldn't mind seeing him take on LA Knight.
Oh yeah, that'd be
Imagine,
awesome.
imagine the promos between them two.
Oh, that'd be awesome. I mean, I'm afraid to even. Here's
Yeah.
my okay. Well, we'll get to this now. I think we got everything except for the main event right now. Okay, tag match: Hardys and the Rascals. 13 minutes. This was like totally fine for me. The crowd was into it. I don't know. I thought the Rascals might win because of what's his name? The other Rascal, maybe coming back from
Oh yeah,
NXT.
because we had
Wesley.
mentioned prior that like they kind of let that third
Yeah,
members kind of like what you saying they're sitting in the circle. They kind of it's misplaced because you need
yeah.
that
You
third member.
literally, you were talking about that last show. How they need like a third guy. It doesn't really fit.
Yeah.
And again, they lost here to the Hardys after they were pretty much at their peak. It seemed like the Rascals. So I don't know what to do
And
here.
again, I'm still seeing people out there saying, does the Hardys really need to retain the titles over such a young and upcoming team at the
Well,
Rascals? And
that's tough
I'm like,
because
yeah, but
yeah.
it's just
Sorry.
no, it's just like it's a no brainer. I mean, they got name recognition, they're legends. I
Definitely.
mean,
Yeah. That's what I was gonna say.
what do you expect? I mean, it's TNA needs, that the Hardys and the like are the reason why they're selling these shows out.
Exactly. Who else do people think fans are going to see?
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
posted
they're
a few
not
weeks
going
ago.
to sell shows out if the Rascals are in the,
Yeah. Yeah.
you
Again,
know,
no offense to the
as much
Rascals.
as we
Maybe in a
love
few years.
Trey and Zach.
Maybe. And again, no offense to the Rascals. How long have the Hardys been around?
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
they're
And the
like
thing is, and they have a lot of strings that come along with them. Like they know a lot of people in the business. They
oh yeah,
work
that's
everywhere in
why
the world.
friggin' remember Matt said we're going
Yeah,
to have a match in WWE this year. Everyone
yeah,
laughed. 2 days later,
yeah,
they announced that a huge agreement.
yeah,
Matt, no, the Hardys know what's going on.
yeah.
I'm sure this whole thing ends with them going to the Hall of Fame, but whatever.
And this is
I
no
was
different than TNA going into the well one more time to get Mickey James. It's no different when they
yeah, I don't know how
try to
anyone
get
like I
anyone.
don't know anyone could complain about anything coming out of the show, and I've seen a lot of complaints like there wasn't enough surprises, there wasn't enough this, wasn't enough that,
Mm,
and like okay, but if there's more surprises, then you make the show about NXT and not TNA. And it's
well, and
called
then we
fucking
don't know
TNA
what
Genesis
the
for a reason. You know what I mean?
and
We
what did
got
they
a
have?
lot of NXT. We got more NXT than I thought.
Were they doing tapings tonight or no? Or was this a
No,
non?
because the live show is next,
Oh, okay,
which
okay.
they
So there,
announced. So I was right about to say. I wonder what's next for the Rascals. I forgot they announced
so this is going to
TNA's
be the
TNA's live show
fallout.
this TNA's live show this week. Tag team champions Fraxium, who were
Oh,
outside
okay.
the ring, and kind of you could say they caused the Rascals to lose. They got their attention. And then, so this week, tag team champions Fraxium are putting the titles on the line against the Rascals on Impact.
And I know very little or nothing about Fraxium. I do know one of them is like a luchador. That's all I did notice. And one kind of looked like the other member
his name
of
is
the
Axiom. And
Okay.
the guy's last name is Frazier. So they put
Okay.
Frazier with Axiom to make one of my most hated names in the history of wrestling, Fraxium.
So what is he, like an El Generico kind of thing, or
I have no
like
idea.
a
Good question. I would say so because he just looks like that to me from his, I don't know. And the other guy I don't
yeah
know has like the other guy just doesn't have, Frazier has like just, I don't know, not a great look, but like
yeah
this like I told him, like we're not gonna get the top NXT guys, you know what I mean? Like
no
maybe at
the
the end
one
of or maybe at the end of this. Like let this start off slow like this. Like I love this. Like let's pretend this
no
is
I
gonna last
like it too because
years. Like you know what I mean? Let's not blow this off in 2 weeks.
I kind of like it too because it kind of fills that void of that what was it, that all British tag team that we liked so well on the channel, and then they went to AEW
Oh yeah.
after a while. I can't think of who. I'm not talking
Yeah,
about the one, not the Australian
I'm
tag
gonna
team
say
you
there's two
don't
of them,
like.
and one of them I don't like, so I always confuse them.
Yeah, the one they kind of had that. I don't know, like kind of like bully tag team, kind of like.
I really forget those guys. I don't even know what they're doing in AEW right now. Whatever. Let us know in the comments. So, in case we missed it, the Hardys won, retained. Masha retained. So the big match, the main event. I was surprised. I really thought I knew the story that Nick Nemeth was with JBL, and it turns out JBL is just a weirdo who goes around clotheslining people randomly. It seems because I've seen people saying, "Oh, he was protecting JB Nemeth." Okay, yeah, it looked that way. Then where
Yeah,
did he go? Then where did he go at the end? Why didn't he continue protecting him when it mattered?
yeah. I think he. I don't know. It's kind of weird because he was there to kind of Kaz couldn't cash in his gauntlet
Oh yeah,
shot.
that's right. Yeah, good call. Sorry, Jesus, I
Well,
forgot about that. Yeah, Cat, the King came down.
yeah.
I really thought it was coming. Did you?
I I don't know. I with this current storyline, like I don't know, with this JBL stuff, I don't really know where
Yeah.
I'm kind of still lost in the shuffle with it, but I don't know. I
Well, the
mean,
JBL thing. There's no way to. That's one thing that
but
it's
I
bothering me a
mean,
little bit that it's been going on for so long, and we have
I
no
really
hints
think
at
they had
anything
to
other
pull.
than he's just
I just kind of
clotheslining everyone.
I just kind of feel like they had to pull the trigger on Hendry, because if they didn't, I think that
Yeah,
was
no, that's fair. Yeah.
definitely lost for
Well,
good.
now people are asking, but now what's Hendry doing? Is he going to go to WWE soon? And
Yeah,
I'm like, where's everybody getting that from? Because a fucking report said it last year. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I'm sure he re-signed with TNA. That they wouldn't put the fucking title on him on Genesis
No, no, I don't know.
unless Nemeth is leaving, which I don't think anyone heard. He's been super excited about TNA. He's been talking about Cena.
Yeah, I didn't we say that Nemeth re-signed though?
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah,
Yeah, I think we had
I'm just saying,
mentioned.
like, I don't like people
Yeah,
talking about
yeah.
Hendry
I didn't
leaving.
know if
Like,
we maybe forgot that or.
that's funny. Now everybody has to point out people like creepy Mike Bailey who wants to bang the CEO murderer, even though he's married to a woman.
Yeah.
He put that tweet out right
Oh,
before becoming a free agent, and guess where he is now?
no idea.
ML, MLW, the place where you go when nobody else wants you. Seriously,
I never heard it
is
phrased
that
that
not what
way,
it
but
is?
yeah, pretty
If
much.
you can't get a job with TNA or the Big Two, sorry, the Big Two. I forgot
Yeah,
we're part of the Big Two now. Oh, it's a whole new world. I have to get used to it. Shit. I mean, like, I remember joking like what was it, like months ago? Like, listen, they're doing really good, but they're not AEW. Like, fans need to pump their brakes. Like, we're not in their fucking league. And like
yeah. I don't think Speaking
overnight,
of
they pretty much
MLW,
passed them.
speaking of
MLW.
MLW,
Sorry, good.
no, just speaking of MLW in general, like it. I mean, have you seen a company with less buzz
Oh
than,
god, never.
you know what I mean? Like
Constant,
I don't know.
constant zero buzz. NWA gets a little buzz every now and then.
Yeah, yeah,
There is nothing about MLW. It's I don't know. It's very weird. They could like sign someone huge, and they still won't get even buzz for like you know what I mean. The day, like just they just can't do anything that sticks. It's so weird. I mean, I'm sorry. What's this dude's name? You suck, bro. Get out of the fucking business. And I think you didn't like him because he fucks with TNA or something.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I
I can't.
forget. That was before my TNA time, but I forget the guy's name. But he's not
Yeah.
doing well, obviously. I mean, Jesus Christ. Who the fuck is an MLW? Also, they have to watch Jacob Fatu tear it up on fucking
Yeah,
WWE.
yeah. They lost any of the true reasons to watch
I
MLW.
swear to God, I was like, one of the reasons I didn't watch is because every fucking title match for about 2 straight years was
Yeah.
Hammerstone against him. I'm like, you gotta have somebody else. Fuck this company.
Yeah, I think that's what this is going to make TNA that much better too, because like the revolving doors even bigger now, especially with your being with WWE. You might get some
totally.
main roster talent.
Totally. I mean,
NXT is huge. They keep
the big
adding.
worry that I've seen a lot, and of course, everyone should be a little bit worried at least.
Yeah.
Not many people come out of working with WWE alive.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Evolve.
But like I've explained to people, this is different. Like these guys,
Yeah.
they're owned by incredibly rich people who own their own network and all kinds of networks. You know what I mean? They own the Fight Network. They own I think they own the Game Channel.
Yeah.
They own Axis. I mean, whatever. Like these guys and there's stuff outside of wrestling. You know what I mean? It's whatever. They own all kinds of shit. Like these aren't fucking a bunch of nobodies that you know what I mean? And here's the thing: if they want to sell TNA, why didn't they just do it?
Yeah. Yeah.
When Scott left, why didn't they just sell TNA right to, you know what I mean? WWE.
Yeah.
Is like, are they going to be worth more? This okay? I'm pretty sure it's a stupid question. Is TNA going to be worth more money because they're working with WWE to WWE? You know what I mean? No, it's their fucking same shit. No,
Yeah. Yeah.
unless they can
Definitely.
get them to make more money and becomes like a financial thing that I don't understand. Whatever. Don't know if you heard me before, but I asked, is there any chance they will be on another network or another streaming service by Thursday night?
Yeah, I think that was another thing people were kind of clamoring for is an announcement on a new
That's
TV
fair.
deal.
Yeah, I'm gonna fucking kill someone if we don't get one soon. Yeah, that's fair.
But somebody had mentioned too. I think maybe it was you, Jay. You said you thought maybe they might mention it on the live show, and I mean that would be huge too because I'm sure they'll be plugging that all over when they go live.
Oh yeah, but I was thinking. I mean, if you mentioned it last night and it's on a new thing, you know what I mean? Like you can
Yeah,
also watch it this week on
yeah.
Hulu or whatever the hell it is. I don't know.
In speaking of Genesis, it has pretty much a malign history too. Apparently, they did Genesis from 2005 to 2013, but in
Yeah.
2014, Genesis was televised as an Impact television special until about 2018, and then it returned in 2020 as a monthly special for Impact Plus, and now it's actually seeing light of day again. So very much maligned pay-per-view, and I don't know if they could put on pay-per-views with the title name Genesis like they did this time around. I mean, I could see it going forward yearly.
See, I don't know if you want to make it yearly because Genesis is like a
Yeah,
thing. It's like
yeah,
just go by the
yeah.
word. You know what
It's
I
a
mean? Like
very much
Genesis, it's like.
maligned pay-per-view.
I mean,
Yeah,
I like it if they're gonna make like because this was like kind of a reboot show. You know, Scott's gone. This is what our TNA is gonna look like, and it was absolutely different and fantastic. And the
as long
matches,
as we don't
the show
as long as
flew
we don't
by.
return to the pre-recorded one night onlys and all
Oh
that,
yeah,
I'll
totally.
be fine. You know
Oh
what
yeah,
I mean?
totally. Don't
Unless
you
you
think
do Joker's
don't you think the
Wild
show
or
flew by?
oh yeah, definitely, yeah, yeah,
Flew
yeah,
by. They had, and so Van made a great point. He was like, "Who the hell is gonna? How are they gonna follow up that knockouts match?" And they put the
yeah.
I Quit match right after that, like perfectly timed. You know what I mean? Nothing else could have followed that match up other than the main event. Like it would have made the knockouts look much worse. The Masha Rosemary knockouts. It would have made the Hardys look worse. Like the Santana match. Two incredible matches in a row.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe don't do that. I don't know. Whatever. To me,
And
I
I
give it a
guess
nine.
people
I
got
give it a
really
9.1.
I guess people
Sorry.
got really
Go ahead.
oh, me with the show.
Go
I
ahead.
was just gonna say before I make a
Yeah.
comment about the rating. I guess people got really hyped for the Rebellion show. They said it looked like it'd be really. I don't look like they were really hyped for it. I don't know. I guess I
Wait,
didn't catch the
is that
video
next?
package for. Yeah, that's the next show.
In
I
February?
believe. I think.
That's what it was in
Think it.
friggin'. I
Oh,
don't think it
yeah,
ever announced.
yeah. Well, it's saying on Wikipedia. It's saying the next show is
Yeah, March
Rebellion.
14th. Oh, sacrifice.
Oh, this
Okay.
is saying April. I don't know. Maybe I'm looking, but I don't know. I could have sworn somebody had said
Nope,
they showed
Rebellion, April
Rebellion.
27th.
Okay. Well, my
Tickets are
rating
on sale
for the
now, and it's really from Los Angeles.
yeah. Yeah, that they chose between New York and LA, remember in that
Oh, that's
poll,
right.
and
Yeah, okay. Okay, so next we have
so
the
they went
live
with
show
the
this
poll.
week. The live
But
show on live show on the
I would
23rd,
definitely
tapings on the 24th, sacrifice on
okay.
March 14th. What the hell is happening in February?
I think this is where they were mentioning something about Full Sail, like doing like I don't know, like a month's worth of the first night being full. I don't know if it's gonna be like a live show, and then they were gonna do tapings for that
Yeah,
week, and they were
no
gonna
idea.
kind of skip that. Like they thought this was maybe where we'd be, maybe at the tapings they'll or whatever the live show they'll mention that maybe they'll be working with NXT on a maybe a who knows, maybe a WWE produced show in February
Yeah, yeah.
or
I mean,
promoted or
I
whatever.
mean, oh yeah, I was thinking. I mean, I guarantee there's going to be an NXT versus TNA show down the line. Like,
Yeah,
but maybe I don't know. Maybe next month is some kind of like I don't know.
who knows? Maybe
It
we'll
can't be
show
an
up in the
NXT versus
perform.
TNA show, but it could be like a joint
We could
show.
show, yeah, or we could be showing up in the performance center. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say we could like TNA
You know
could
what I
show
mean?
up at like TNA could definitely show up at their big show in February, but I don't think they're gonna
Yeah,
have not.
yeah,
I was gonna say I don't think they're gonna have not no show in February if that makes sense.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Sorry, it's been an
No, I
hour
know.
talking.
Yeah,
I've been
yeah.
talking
We
to
need to.
Gary for an hour, which is kind of insane, and no one should ever do. The man is a straight up lunatic. You can hear his child in the background.
Yeah, I assure
Destroying.
you, Taz isn't showing up. Something
Yeah,
with
Gary's
Taz.
child in the background just destroying that household.
Yeah, in the podcast here and there.
He's gonna need to get to cleaning that up. But thank you everyone for listening. I think
Yeah, I
we hit
think we
on
pretty much
everything and news
all
and
previewed it and reviewed it and everything all in
yeah.
one.
That's it. And we will be back usual time next Monday probably, unless something crazy happens with Gary here again. But no, I think he's been good.
Yeah. So,
Alrighty.
see
Be
you
good,
there.
people.
See you next week, everyone.
We'll be back. We're kicking ass. Keep your heads up and fly those TNA flags. We're winning. Peace.